What's up, everyone? It's your boy Thomas from Tostemac, and it's time for another autism video. Today hold on. Why am I doing the video? This is more a Steven shtick. Hey, Steven, where are ya?
I'm here. Alright, sorry, I don't mean to be late, it's just I had to finish up something else before coming here.
What's the problem? You're usually not late when it comes to these sessions.
Oh, no. It's not that there's a problem, it's just that I have a lot going on right now. Between making content for Tostemac, doing my full-time job, the Best Buddies fundraiser that I'm working on, which is basically my biggest project I've ever worked on next to this, not to mention a super secret project that I literally cannot say anything about until it's done. So, with everything, I'm really having a hard time focusing right now.
Funny you should mention that, because today's topic is actually about how to improve your focus. Let's talk about why it can be difficult for some autistic people to maintain focus and give some tips on how to improve said focus. We can do 5 tips for teenagers and adults today to help you out, and then do 5 tips for children in the next video. Sound good?
Sure, that's a great idea. Well, Thomas, why don't you go ahead and start us off by explaining why it can be difficult sometimes for autistic people to focus.
Translation. Please take over for my lazy bot while I take a nap. Got it.
What the?
Alright, on to the question. When we try to focus on something, generally we have to choose what to prioritize over all other things, or at times shift the attention to something else if the need arises. This is an essential life skill to have for both learning as well as, well, getting tasks done. Now, this may sound easy to do on paper, and for many people it is. But for some autistic individuals, it could be another story. There are many reasons that an autistic individual may have a hard time focusing. It could be that the individual is not physically feeling well, is just not interested in the task, may feel that they can't do it for one reason or another, been sitting still for too long, or they could be distracted by what's going on around them. These factors, be it either one or multiple, can make focusing on a task a bit more strenuous for us. Not to worry though, we wouldn't be talking about the subject if we didn't have a solution to follow.
You know, Thomas, I could give a couple tips of what I do to improve my focus.
This coming from the guy who just said he's having a hard time focusing. Right.
I only said that I'm having a hard time focusing. That doesn't mean it's impossible.
Okay then, by all means, go for it. Go on and be a big boy.
Just remember, Thomas, I know where you sleep.
That doesn't sound disturbing at all.
We literally live in the same house. You know what, whatever. The first tip I have for improving focus for autistic teenagers and adults is make a to-do list on what needs to be done. Trying to tackle everything at once can be overwhelming, to say the least. So instead of doing that, make a list of all the things that needs to get done and prioritize which one needs to get first and organize which ones that need to get later. For instance, my to-do list this past week involved going to work, obviously because I kinda need to get paid. Then, visiting a store or restaurant that might be interested in participating in my fundraiser. Then, spending time with family because that's always important. And finally, working on my autism video, in that order. By organizing your tasks and only taking them on one at a time, you can ensure that the job gets done and gets done right. Not to mention, it's far less stressful than taking everything on at the same time. But mind you, some tasks might be bigger than others and may require you to break them down into smaller sections. That way you can still get it done, but still have time for what else needs to be accomplished. A good example of this is what you're looking at right now. A typical Tostemac video like this one would usually take around 8 to 10 hours to make. That includes research, script writing, recording, and editing. As you can imagine, with a full-time job, I'd be very hard pressed for time if I try to cram it all into one day. So what I do instead is break it down into 2-hour sessions throughout the week. That way, I can still get it done up to my standards and still have time for everything else. Making a to-do list now will save you a lot of time and stress in the future, as everything will already be organized and you can get everything done in a timely manner. And I'm not sure if you noticed this or not, but video games do this all the time. When they list main objectives, when they list side objectives, smaller objectives that lead to bigger objectives. They do this in order to organize the information the player has and guide them throughout the game. And if it works for video games, I'm pretty sure it'll work for you too. Now let's say the issue has less to do with the task themselves and more to do with what's going on around you, possible distractions. For this, my second tip is to unplug. Get rid of any and all distractions possible. Of course, this might be a little bit difficult if you're in a public environment, like a school or at work or at a shopping mall. Provided people still go to shopping malls these days. When you're in a public environment, it's their house, their rules. There's very little you can control. But if you are at the comfort of your own home, that's another story. You are the master of your own domain, so you can alter the environment around you to suit your needs. You can close the door so that way you don't hear the outside noise. You can put away any toys or turn off any electronics that may deter you from what needs to be done. Change your environment so that way you can focus on what needs to be done. You may be tempted to listen to some music while you're doing the task, or have your smartphone or computer on. But ask yourself this: are they going to help you, or are they going to distract you? If they're going to distract you, it's best to put them away. But if they're going to help you with focusing on this task, make sure you're only doing the task and nothing else. Believe me, it doesn't take much to get distracted and lose precious time.
Okay, I think it's my turn now. I'm getting bored.
All right, Thomas, take it away.
Tip numero 3 for improving focus is exactly what Steven should be doing right now. Take a break. If you're sitting still on the same task for a long time, eventually you're gonna lose focus. So give yourself some time to decompress, unwind, do some exercise to get the blood pumping, so you can come back to the task refreshed and ready.
But Thomas, given everything that's going on right now, what if I don't have time to take a break?
See, that sounds more like a time management issue rather than a losing focus issue. You need to plan out when would be a good time to take breaks in order to keep yourself from hitting burnout. Otherwise, by the time you get to the finish line, Steven, you're gonna end up all and I'll just be on the other side of the line, already there saying, "Aw, do you want some water?"
I think you would be less likely to hand me that water bottle and more likely to drink it in front of my face.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'd totally do that. Tip numero 4 typically involves using a stress ball or a fidget toy or something along those lines. When we lose focus, our mind tends to drift. So, should this begin to happen, use a fidget toy or something like that to snap out of it. As you keep your fingers busy, your brain is actively working along with them. Suffice to say, this can be a handy trick for dealing with boredom, loss of focus, or even some kinds of anxiety.
Ugh, that pun was so bad.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who wrote the script?
Who revised the script?
Anywho, the 5th and final tip we have is once you accomplish a task or a set of tasks, don't forget to reward yourself so you know you did a job well done. Maybe play some video games that you enjoy afterwards, or treat yourself to some good food you don't enjoy often. Speaking of which...
No, I am not getting you Chipotle.
Oh, trust me. After everything you've been working on, I'm sure you'll change your tune soon.
Sure, we'll see about that. But in any case, those are our 5 tips on how to improve focus for autistic teenagers and adults. I hope you enjoyed this video, but what do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Maybe there was a tip in here that should have been in this video. Let us know in the comments section below. And on that note, it's time to end the video. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. If you enjoy what you see, consider subscribing to Tostemac and clicking the bell icon to stay up to date on our latest videos. And don't forget, we are currently doing our Best Buddies Champion of the Year fundraiser, and any and all assistance is greatly appreciated. I'll just leave a link to my champion page in the comments section below. And in the next autism video, we'll go over some tips on how to improve focus for autistic children.
Too bad you're not going to be a part of it.
Wait, what?
Turns out neither you nor I are qualified enough for this part, at least in comparison to who will be taking over for the next video.
Whoa. Wait a minute, Thomas. You and I created this channel. There is no one more qualified than you and me. So what do you mean someone else is going to take over?
Let's just say that such matters require a bit more motherly love.
Motherly love? Oh no.
Hi everyone, I'm back.